Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Crimson Alley Viper number 91 in the line. And yes, this is a repaint, but this was really a wonderful figure. I think people love the Alley Viper from the O-ring, and I honestly think, just looking at this from what I've seen, I think this is actually better than the orange. I was never a huge fan of the orange. The crimson really looks nice. So we're going to take a look at this, and here again, wonderful artwork. You know, you got the picture, you got the figure right here. You got the Easter eggs in the back. Here's the actual artwork of the figure, and here's everything that it comes with. But if you already have an Alley Viper, you already know. So this will probably be a fairly quick video. What we are going to do is we will quickly compare it to the other Alley Viper. We'll compare it to the colors of the Crimson Guard and the Crimson Bat and see if the Crimson does match. Now, what doesn't make a lot of sense to me is that this is a Walmart exclusive. And this is kind of part of their wave with the mole rats and everything. You would think that this would be a mainline because it's supposed to be part of the Crimson Troop. So there we are, the back of it, the figure. And again, I got the sticker on the back because I got this from overseas. If you want something that's going to be in mint condition, you don't want to order from overseas, or else you're going to have to get the sticker off, and then you're going to chance ripping it up. There's the file card. Again, I've said enough about it. I'm not going to continue to go into it. So anyway, let's take a look at this and compare the two. But before we do, take a second. If you like the content that I'm giving you, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a G.I. Joe classified video. Now let's take a look. All right, so I got them out. Here is the weapons locker that we have here. We've gone over this numerous times. Good idea, poorly executed. Number 91, Crimson Alley Viper. 91 is going to be upside down, Cobra symbol. On the inside, now he does come with these plastic ties rather than the old paper or the string ones. I like the string ones a lot more. They come off way easier to snip, or easier just to spin. Again, artwork in the back. Those eyes look extremely menacing. And again, I don't know how you'd want to pose this, but it just shows that the team actually cares a little. Unlike, I think, Hasbro does at times and some of the other brands. So, I will mention, I've already kind of looked at some of these weapons. And even though they are not bad, so here is the AR style rifle. Now, I will leave a link at the end of this video to the old Alley Viper. So if you want to watch that. So I think this weapon looks pretty nice. I think this is something that should come with all the EOs. Like if they don't have a standard weapon, give all the Cobra troopers this weapon. It looks really nice. Has a hole for blast effects. It's got a scope on it. No paint apps, but I like that it's just plain black. The magazine does come out. Now my issue is, it is really soft. Now, it's not to this point where it's automatically bent, but I wonder how it will be when it's really hot, or if they're holding it too much, because when they're holding the rifle, it starts to pull. So, looking at this one right here, it does not bend at all. You know, like you can feel flex in it if I'm pushing on it, so it doesn't feel like it's going to snap. But this is how they all should come, and I've been banging that drum for quite some time. Here is the grappling gun. And again, a scope on it. It's got the trigger. It's got the extendable, it looks like the extendable stock. Even though it doesn't, it looks like it is. Here you have a hole if you want to tie some rope to it. And I guess here is the arrow for the harpoon. I don't know what you really want to call it. Someone can tell me in the comments. Again, this is also flexible. And then you have the backpack, which goes this way. So it looks like he has landmines here. He's got some grenades on it. The Cobra symbol. He's got an extra magazine on here, even though it is not removable. This would have been nice had they made it so this one was removable. A couple pouches. This plugs in just like that. So if you go back and you watch my other Alley Viper, if you have an original Alley Viper and O-ring version, you'll see that this is pretty much the exact same backpack that he came with. Here is the weapon that the Alley Viper came with as an O-ring. It has a port for blast effects, flashlight on it, and a scope on it. Again, removable magazine. This thing always gets in the way. Now, once again, flexible, but not too bad. I mean, I could deal with this if this is the tolerance, but again, I think that they should be using a harder plastic. That's going to fall out. So, a nice handle, some nice detail to it. I have 4 of these Alley Vipers, the original Alley Viper, so really nice figure. And again, you know how that goes. You know how everything fits. You can fit this in there, but it is harder. This weapon actually does look better, but I always want to have a classic one if possible. Here is the shield, and we'll pull up the original shield here. So this is the exact same shield. It is soft plastic. This is a little bit harder. You can just feel that it's harder. Where this one here is definitely, it flexes a little bit. But same detail on it. They obviously do not have the weird camouflage. I like the fact that the Cobra symbol is blacked out. And then you have this pretty much do not cross. On the inside, they give it different effects. So the heads-up display is completely different. Now, he's pretty much in mines, making sure that the mole rats do what they're supposed to. So here, he's pretty much targeting, which is good. You put a weapon over, boom, you're aiming right at it. And this one here, it's giving you other heads-up display. So I like the fact that they changed that up. He does come with a pistol. I thought he came with, no. Yep. The pistol that I know I continue to say needs to be retired. No blast effect. It is more of a laser pistol. There is no magazine that can go into it. It is a fine pistol for the time being, but it's time to retire that. Here's his headpiece. And again, a different look. It's obviously some sort of like biohazard stuff. Looks really nice. But on the inside, they actually gave you a little bit of paint apps. Now, whether or not that's his vital signs, if that's where he's supposed to be looking, I'm not sure. But it is just a little bit of storytelling that I do like. And then these figures are big and bulky. And with the shield, sometimes they fall over. And then he's got 2 knives, which does have the paint app on it for the blade. Oddly enough, these ones do not have it, so you don't have to worry about getting them mixed and matched. The other thing that I noticed is that the knives are actually sturdier than the guns. Not that they're a hard plastic like some other companies where they feel like you're going to poke you. So it's fine for kids to play with. Now let's take a look at the actual figure. We'll start with the articulation. Let's fix his feet here. So he's using the old buck, so you're going to have pins, both on the legs and the elbows. And actually struggling to kind of move him around. He feels very soft. I don't like that. That always worries me. I've had some issues with some softer G.I. Joes here. So here's your T-pose. Look at that. Like, even his arms are kind of... I guess these ones are a little too. I don't remember having... I'm having an issue getting these guys. And he gets a T-pose fairly easy. This one here, he doesn't really get a full T-pose. They kind of stay down. So that's as high as you're going to get, at least that I'm going to get on this short review here, or long review. Double elbows, they do feel softer. I am not going to lie about that. Bends here. Bicep swivel. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Drop down hips. Double knee joints. Everything feels softer. Like this figure feels softer than some of the other ones. Got your thigh. Now he does have an ab crunch. unfortunately, can't really do much because of this big, bulky vest that's hard to get off. So it does feel softer and flimsier than this, so that's a plus. So quickly, we'll take a look at the detail here. He does have the Cobra symbol on his head. He's got a black mask. His eyes look really nice. I don't see any real issues with the paint. He's all black around, so you don't have to worry about the issue with no camouflage here, where kind of a mess up that they completely messed up on, and no one seemed to notice in the factory or in the QC or whoever was doing it. Just trying to pop this on here. All right, so the vest, they give you 3 different paint apps, it looks like, or 4. You got these little gold hooks here. Got pouches for God knows what, whatever you want to use them for. Got a brown pouch over here. Some black straps. Wraps around. You got the Cobra symbol right up here, which is the same that's here, except this one is orange. What's really weird is when I watch this back, it won't look as bad, but when I'm looking at it through here, I tend to struggle because what comes off looking at this is different. So I do apologize. So you have a knife that's gonna fit up in the sheath right up here. You got his arms. He has the same type of uniformity that is on a shield. But all in all, it looks nice. I believe these are the... I don't remember if these are a completely new mold when they did the Alley Viper. Some of them, I believe some of the parts were a little different. He's got a holster on the side here. Let me throw the pistol on here. Once again, he has a uniformity to show that he's a Crimson Alley Viper. He's working in the mines, I guess. Gray boots, or gray knee pads. Gray shin pads, which I'm so glad they've done away with. Now, I will say, just looking at this one, maybe because of the soft plastic I feel like they're using, I feel like the ankles are getting a little bit more maneuverability as I struggle to keep this guy pretty much up all the way. Maybe they do go up all the same. I always struggle at times to get them in specific dynamic poses because you lose a lot of mobility because of these stupid shin guards that are just obstructing the way. So, that's your Alley Viper now. If you want to get the shield on it, the easiest way to get the shield is to pop the hand off. Now, let's say if you want the shield over here, take the sheath off over here, and you can put it on over here. So I've done this on a couple of mine. So you want this on here, throw it on like that, take the hand, pop it back on. These things come off really easily and pop back on. Now we're going to take the sheath, and you might want to turn it the other way, depending on which way you feel works better. Now, obviously, if you had one on your wrist, you want it to come out the other way. No, I guess I'll just go. You can stretch it either way. So see, I have it over on that one different. So, there you go with that. Pops right in. Doesn't feel like it's going to break or anything. Everything just fall out. Does go that way. You know what? Listen, it's been a long couple weeks. I think I've mentioned it numerous times. Oh, drop the rifle. Thank you guys for sticking around. This is taking a little bit longer than I had originally planned. So there we can arm up our Crimson Alley Viper backpack. It's going to plug directly in there. and I hate posing them in a really poor position and then showing them off. I definitely won't do that in the picture, so. But that's pretty much everything, and then you have extra weapons. So this is a figure that you're going to get a lot of different weapons for. So quickly, let's take a look at the Crimson Bat. They're all supposed to have the same crimson color. It definitely does look the same at some parts, mostly around the lower legs and everything. You have your Crimson Guard. All right, so I think it's a little bit different because it seems like they use a matte rather than where this one is more shiny. I know they're supposed to be using a specific Pantone. And then here is your Disney World Coke bottle that one of the kids literally just put it on my dresser. So it was just sitting there and I'm like, hey, you know what? I should probably match that color up too. So there's your Crimson Alley Viper. Nice looking figure. So my final thought on the Crimson Alley Viper is that I think it looks wonderful. Again, I'm going to continue to hammer these soft weapons. Now, they're not as bad as some of the other ones that we've seen, but I can say that you can even see right there, the stock there is bent. It's out of position, and I did notice as I was trying to pose them. Now, I switched the arms back. You saw me in the video change it. It's really hard to get them in this type of firing position because of where the sheath sets on the chest. But that's a minor thing. You can still figure things out. As you can see, I did use the actual soft weapons rather than changing it over with one of the Alley Viper's weapons. So, all in all, nice looking figure. Absolutely love the colors. I do feel because he's a little bit of a softer plastic, he does pose a little bit better. The ankles seem to be better. So, that's it. That's my final thought on this new figure. Alright, so that was my G.I. Joe Classified Crimson Alley Viper review. Again, before you go anywhere, take a second. If you're on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, a Punk with Toys, jump on over there, hit that like button, follow me, helping grow the community. If you're on Facebook, I know only old people are on Facebook, that's what my kids tell me. Punks with Toys, that's the Facebook group page. Again, no politics, just funny memes, figures, talk, all that other stuff. Last but not least, if you like the content that I'm giving you, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a G.I. Joe Classified video. But I'm going to get out of here. But you stayed this long, don't go anywhere. If you want to see the original Alley Viper video, it's right up here. And here's a review of all the other classified figures that I've done. Take care.